Alright, welcome back to the first live episode in a while. And what better way to start than to talk about the winter meetings, the greatest and most active period in Major League Baseball's off-season. Or at least it was at some point. In recent years, the winter meetings have become less and less prevalent with the advances of social media and instant communication, meaning that most players and agents don't really have to meet face-to-face now. And as such, you see fewer and fewer surprise signings, trades, the like happen. However, on the first day, there were rumors of a massive three-team trade between the Yankees, the Mets, and the Miami Marlins, all centered around JT Realmuto. Now, the talks fizzled out very quickly. By the next day, everyone was saying that the trade possibility was dead. But in that time, we got enough details to kind of piece together what was going to happen. If the deal would have happened, all we knew was that JT Realmuto, the Marlins catcher and one of the best catchers in MLB, would go to the Mets. To help facilitate the deal, the Mets would have to trade from their Major League roster because their minor league system is kind of depleted at the moment. The Marlins would have gotten either one of Michael Conforto or Brandon Nimmo. They really wanted Ahmed Rosario, the young shortstop, but the Mets wouldn't budge from them. For the Yankees' part, while they would be sending prospects to both sides, they would be getting Noah Syndergaard, arguably one of the best young pitchers in all of baseball, to form a monster rotation. Now, after the trade talks fizzled out, both teams later got their needs of what they wanted. The Mets, needing an offensive-minded catcher rather desperate in the last few days as of recording, signed Wilson Ramos to a 2-year deal with an option for a third. And near the end of the winter meetings, the Yankees re-upped with J.A. Happ for, you guessed it, 2 years with a option for a third, this time of vesting. So rather than talking about the winter meetings and how they were a bust, I'm going to tell you why the Yankees and Mets were best served by not making a big 3-team deal with the Marlins. On the Mets side, it seems rather obvious. The fact that they don't really have much of a farm system, especially after their surprise deal for Robinson Cano and Edwin Diaz of the Mariners, has forced them that if they want to make a big impact trade for the Major League roster, they'll also have to trade from the Major League depth. Brandon Nimmo, arguably the closest thing the Mets have to a true center fielder on the roster, had a tremendous season that went underrated, posting a wins above average of over 4 and being one of the best leadoff hitters in the game, not named Mookie Betts. Michael Conforto, yeah, he had a down year, but last year there was a conversation of who was the better rookie in New York, him or Aaron Judge. While I don't think he'll get back to that conversation, he should at least have a chance to prove that his 2017 is more of his career, not 2018. As for Ahmed Rosario, I'm not quite sure why the Mets like him so much. While yes, he has good speed and he has a great glove, he's also not one to get on base a lot, whether by hitting or by walks. Those types of players are kind of a dime a dozen. And Syndergaard, one of the best pitchers in the game, you shouldn't really have to trade him. Now, as for the Yankees, well, yes, they only really had to send prospects and they got back Noah Syndergaard. But consider this. To acquire Syndergaard and help the Mets, they would definitely have to trade at least 2 of their top 10 prospects. Of those top 10 prospects, the only 4 that are really Major League ready are the top 4. Checking the list for names so I don't butcher them. Estevan Florial, the number 1 prospect in the Yankee system, is most likely untouchable. So let's go to the next 3. Jonathan Legacia, Albert Abreu, and Domingo Acevedo. Legacio, you know, the other 2 you don't really, but all 3 are right-handed starting pitchers. All 3 are Major League ready, that they'll break into MLB as a whole sometime around the 2019 season, maybe 2020 if there's an injury hiccup. And that's kind of really the crux of why I'm glad the Yankees didn't take the deal on their end. Starting pitching is one of the most hardest to acquire commodity. And while you can say, yes, the Yankees have all these options, consider their rotation. The 2 pitchers who combined for the most innings pitched last year for the Yankees were Luis Severino and Masahiro Tanaka. Luis Severino has not put it together for a full season. For Tanaka, it's a coin flip whether this is the year that his arm will give out and he'll need Tommy John surgery. So while, yes, the Mets and the Yankees would have been better served talent-wise by making this big 3-team deal, getting J.A. Happ and Wilson Ramos isn't that bad in general either. If anything, it's probably more beneficial. But that is it for me. I will see you guys in a few weeks. I'm not live because I will be away, but I will make sure to have some content for you guys to see. Until then, see you next time. And Merry Christmas.